If you turn off the beaten path at NC State's Lake Wheeler Road Field Labs, you'll end up here at the university's new compost facility. It can process up to 1,200 tons of organic waste each year, returning it to campus as compost for the landscape or produce for the dining halls. Adam Bensley, NC State's Waste Diversion Coordinator, explains how the magic happens.
We all need to eat, and so performing intensive agriculture isn't going to be sustainable for the long run. Taking your food waste from the country, bringing it into an urban setting, and then throwing it into the landfill, it's not sustainable. You're not returning those nutrients to the soil from which they came like they used to do back in the day.
Right.
So to have this facility here where we can make our own compost and return it to the soil on campus here and make it a healthier environment for our students, our faculty, and our staff, to me, that's just about as good as it gets.
That's really cool.
Taking waste and turning it into a resource.
That's really cool. So tell me about the layout around here. What are we looking at?
Up there is our food waste receiving area. So all of the compost dumpsters on campus get emptied by our trucks, and they come out here, and the truck dumps the food waste under the hoop structure. We take the food waste, the animal bedding, and some wood chips that we also get from campus. We mix them up at the right ratios, make sure they're at the proper moisture content, and then we take those, put them into one of our bins, and that has PVC pipes that are perforated and they're hooked up to a blower. So we put everything into the bin, turn the blowers on, and then that starts the composting process. From there, we take the compost out and we have it cure out here on our pad. These are all of our curing piles. And it takes about 45 days for the compost to cure. And what it's doing during that time is it's finishing composting and then it's stabilizing. So you don't have, high levels of nitrogen getting introduced to the landscape and burning your plants.
Why doesn't it stink horribly right now?
When compost goes anaerobic, when there's a lack of oxygen, that's really what causes the odors. So as long as you have the carbon to nitrogen ratio and the porosity and the airflow and the moisture levels correct, the microbes are going to do their thing and they're going to break it down and there's not going to be any odors.
That's so cool. So from here then, we use it on campus for landscaping, and what other, do they use it in the agriculture, like the research plots around here?
Yeah, so Grounds Services has been using compost for a number of years on campus, and it works really, really well. It works phenomenally well. They are able to do stuff that they wouldn't be able to do, without compost. They take Miller Fields, for example. When the students graduate in May, Miller Fields is a wreck. It's compacted. There's a lot of areas that are just bare ground that nothing will grow because it's so compacted. So they add compost and then Bermuda sprigs and then water them really well, and within a matter of a couple of weeks it's a green lush field. And there's no way they could do that without the use of compost.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And tell me about, you mentioned earlier, the university's land grant mission and how this ties in. Why do you think it's important? How does that, what kind of role does it play in the land grant mission of NC State?
So as a land grant institution, we're tasked at NC State with taking the best information and the best research that we have that we know is going to work and getting it out to the people of the state so they can be prosperous. And by improving soil health and also tackling the waste issue at the same time, keeping all of the organic waste, which is a resource, out of the landfill, you extend the life of the landfill, you create this wonderful product that the farmers can then use to improve their livelihoods, to grow healthier and more, and just increase the amount of crops that they grow. It's just a really great thing.